Hi guys, so in this video I'm here to discuss on the languages spoken by the countries of Pyrrhia. And I might talk about the Dragonets of Destiny as well, but let's begin. So in Pistok, they speak Russian, Ukrainian and Mongolian. And Sunny, back then when she was 15 and under the mountain, yes, these guys escaped when they were 15. Sunny only knew Hindi, Mongolian, Russian, and Ukrainian. She knew how to read and write Russian, but for Mongolian and Ukrainian, for Ukrainian she can read, but she can't really write that well. And for Mongolian, she knew only how to speak and read it. That's it. So it's because you're probably thinking, why did she not know English back then? Well, it's because Morus here, he is the one who made the prophecy. He said that only Starflight should know English because he's a Nightwing and Nightwings are more developed than the other dragons or whatever, he said. So that's why Starflight back then, he was the only one who knew English. The others, they didn't know English. Well, they knew from hearing they can understand, but in speaking they're quite poor at it. They could barely even speak English. Well, like they can speak some small words like no, here, and those type of words they can say, but they can't really pronounce that well. It's kind of the languages they used to speak. And Clay, he knew Hindi, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Since Japanese, Chinese, and Korean are the languages spoken by Gaia Zikril people, also known as Clay's country. And you're probably thinking, who taught Clay those languages? It was Dune. Since Dune, he knew the Pistokal languages, being Russian, Ukrainian, Mongolian, and he knew Hindi, English, along with Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. So he knew like approximately like 8 languages. That's kind of impressive if you ask me. And Clay, he could also speak English, but he doesn't really speak English a lot. He can also understand it. And Tsunami, she knew only 2 languages because Moscow, the country where she's from, the 3 languages there are Aquatic, Afrikaans, and Albanian. So Tsunami, she knew Afrikaans and Albanian, but she did not. But Webbs did not teach her Aquatic though. And her mother was like horrified when Coral, she was horrified in finding out that Tsunami did not know English that well. So that's why Coral, she was actually, Coral and Scarlet were the ones who were actually nice enough to speak to these guys in Hindi. Even though they can understand English, they were at least understanding enough to speak to them in Hindi. It's because the thing about is that Hindi is mandatory for all the countries and all the dragons. So is English. Those two are like the most like important languages for all of them to learn. But anyways, Starflight, the since the Nightwing's languages are very similar to that of the Rainwings. The Rainwings languages are Spanish, French, and Portuguese. Meanwhile, the Nightwings, theirs is only English and French. That's it. English and French. That's it. So Starflight knew French and English and Hindi, of course, because it's mandatory for all. And I can't believe that Morse here was like, oh, the others should not learn English. Like, bro, you ain't their dad. And I know his daughter is Moonwatcher, but she's better than her father, like over 100 times better. Not gonna lie. And at least she's not ugly like him. She definitely got the looks of her mom, not her father. I would rather lick a living cockroach than kiss Morris here, I'll be honest. I would rather lick a live living cockroach than kiss him. It probably has the same taste as well. Okay, enough about Morris here. But anyways, Glory, she only knew fucking Hindi. She only knew fucking Hindi. The Guardians didn't even bother to teach her Spanish, French, or Portuguese, the languages of the Rainwings. They didn't even bother to teach her that. She only knew Hindi. And also the Guardians did not bother to teach her history, geography, biology, physics, like those languages. They did not bother to teach her. Glory had to take Hindi scrolls to read them she basically self-taught herself. Man, this is horrible. Murcia literally forced the Guardians to not let those guys learn English. So when Scarlett met Tsunami and Clay, they were talking in Hindi as they did not know English, as I told you back then. And Scarlett, she was like, "What, you guys don't know English?" English. And Clay was like, हाँ हाँ इंग्लिश थोड़ा समझ सकते हैं पर लेकिन बात नहीं कर सकते. That means yes, we understand English, but we can't speak it. That's what Clay said, and of course Scarlett knows it. And by the way, the Sky Wings languages, those are German, Polish, and what was that one? Turkish. And for the Ice Wings, the one Blaze used to be allied with, aka Queen Glacier's country, they know. Let me try to Dutch. They knew Dutch, Persian, and Czech. They knew Dutch, Persian, and Czech. Those are the three languages they knew. So it's kind of horrible that the Guardians, they did not allow those guys to learn English. And when even Starflight himself wanted to teach those guys English, but he was caught by the Guardians in trying to teach the other guys English, the other four English. So the Guardians, they beat Starflight in such a way he was limping for a couple of days. Yes, he was beaten for trying to teach the other guys not to be illiterates. I know that's a very bad word to say, but like, bro, they were literally not allowed to learn English, the most mandatory language in all of the entire fucking supercontinent. Yeah, but I guess that's it for the video. Bye.